Oh man, dude. So yesterday or the other day, I I had a weird thought watching a like someone was standing up from their like table in the TV show, and I'm like, they're not putting on their mask. Oh no, this was filmed in 2007.
I had that with The Office the other day.
Really?
Steve Carell was an episode. He's like running around and they're looking for him. I can't remember what I say the other day. This was a while ago. Yeah. But I had the same thought.
You're like, where's their masks?
Why isn't he wearing his mask? It's not very safe. And I was like, because this came out in 2008 or whatever it was.
And that's how it's affected us. Tommy, why don't you bring us in?
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is
Tommy and Jacob's mixtape.
Hey everyone, welcome.
Hey, Tommy is apparently Ron Burgundy. This is Tommy.
Oh,
I am Ron Burgundy.
I am Ron Burgundy,
and San Diego can go fuck yourself.
Thank you. Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us on a beautiful review day. It's nice and cold outside, which is nice,
and strangely warm in here.
Yeah, it's gross in here. Today we'll be reviewing Baby Driver.
Woo, woo, woo. Baby, 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 baby.
Yeah, baby.
Baby, baby, baby.
I can't think of another baby.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
No one puts a baby in the corner.
There we go.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Yeah, we got it. All right, so yeah, we are doing Baby Driver. So, and how did you feel about it fitting with the theme of Last Action Hero and Shoot 'Em Up?
I thought it fit perfectly.
I felt half and half. I thought it was
great. I thought this movie was phenomenal, actually.
I really enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it.
Upon reflection and then writing a review, I realized a few things about it that I was like, oh, huh. But also the movie is just really good. It's got a lot of good action.
Yes. And just so people know, so Baby Driver released initially at SXSW March 11th. And then to the general public, June 28th of 2017.
I did not notice that. Really?
Mm-hmm.
What are you... I just have March 11th on 2017. Why can't I find my tab for it? Release dates? Come on. So did it release in the UK before it released in the United States?
No, it released... That's the SXSW... Or South by Southwest. It's a
film festival, yeah.
Yeah, multimedia festival.
Oh, dude, you know what? I saw USA South by Southwest Film Festival, and then on the June 23rd thing, I just saw Canada and UK, and I was like, oh, it was just US on the 11th of March. I didn't go down the rest of the list. Okay.
Yeah, so if you don't know, South by Southwest is it's more than just like a film. It's a lot of stuff, but it's for argument's sake, it's a film festival held in Austin every year around March, if you were unaware.
I'm actually not aware of it.
I wasn't either. That's why I looked it up. So I thought I'd spread the knowledge.
You sounded like you knew what this thing was before we got into it. So actually, good job for all the research. Sounded like you actually know your shit.
Quick synopsis, just for me.
Really quick, let's talk about its box office.
Oh, yeah. So box office for 2017.
It was number 28 domestically and number 43 worldwide, which doesn't surprise me. Both of them, like worldwide. This is very much. It's got an American feel to it, even though it's Edgar Wright, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But also like worldwide. This definitely. I just don't feel like this is a movie that would be very received a lot, very much across the world. Words. Hi.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, too, there is a very like American type heist movie, and a British heist type movie, and like this is a very American heist, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Only because of the getaway, I feel like.
I think it's the car aspect to it that really makes it like hot rods and money. Let's do it. Go.
And to give kind of a aspect of this year, 2017, even though it wasn't that far away. Number one movie or top movies were Star Wars Episode 8: The Last Jedi, Beauty and the Beast, Wonder Woman, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. A lot of Marvel. Spider-Man, Thor. Man, yeah.
Fate of the Furious was in there.
Oh, yeah, one of the...
which I don't know which one that is.
I think that's number 8.
Oh, my God. A budget of $34 million. grossed a 107 in the U.S. and Canada, and then internationally another 120, basically, for a grand total of 226 million. So they actually made quite a nice chunk of change off this one. Similar, I've been doing this. Similar titles: Cars 3, get it? Transformers, Last Night, and then actual ones: Kingsman, Golden Circle, and Logan Lucky.
Okay.
Are like real similar titles. So it was like car, cool, got it.
Get out of here.
Okay,
you're fired.
Now hiring new podcast.
Oh yeah. So what's your synopsis?
I gotta start doing that warm up thing you do. A movie of mayhem, music, and money. A classic heist movie with a creative and original execution.
All right.
That's pretty much it.
Giggity.
Because also, like, there's more I wanted to say about it, but it's in the reviews.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to, like, super, and I like matching my, what is it? I like matching my letters.
Oh, your alliteration?
Alliteration, thank you. Mayhem, music, and money.
Mayhem, music, and money. And members.
Tapes.
Mixtapes.
Plug.
Nice. Yeah. All right. So, whoa, that was loud. Well, yeah. So let's go into director, writer, and starring and whatnot. Which another. I'm so happy. It was just one.
Oh yeah. Director and writer is Indigo's boyfriend, Edgar Wright.
Yes.
So Indigo, if you're listening to this, which you probably are, check this out because I think you'd get a kick out of it.
But you may have already seen it, honestly. Because it's Edgar Wright in general.
Yeah, that's very true.
I mean, but again, yeah, if you haven't, look, definitely. And if you're not familiar with Edgar Wright, he's most famous for really like the writer and director for Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End. What is it? It's
Court.
It's right here in his bio. The Three Flavors Cornetto Film Trilogy.
Cornetto. No, I was gonna say Cornelius.
No, Cornetto. Which I should have looked up what that means. Actually, I don't know what Cornetto. Let's look it up right now.
All you gotta do is hit the pause.
I don't even have to hit the pause. I can just talk as I'm looking it up. Cornetto is a pastry.
That was not what I was expecting. I wasn't sure what I was expecting, but not that. Real quick. This isn't like I'm curious, just because I don't know this for you. Out of that series, rank them real quick, like your favorites.
Well, I haven't seen The World's End yet.
Oh yeah, you haven't.
Yeah. Okay. But I would definitely say that Shaun of the Dead is. I really like Shaun of the Dead. Hot Fuzz. Strangely, I predicted everything that was happening in it until the big twist at the end. I was like, oh, okay.
I remember that was one of the few movies that really I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I think Hot Fuzz #1 for me, then Shaun of the Dead, and World's End. World's End is enjoyable, but it is definitely not. I feel like it's the most forgettable one out of all of them. I will say that Simon Pegg has a really good emotional.
Simon Pegg also co-wrote those three, right? I know he co-wrote Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, he did. Actually, yeah, I was reading that. This Baby Driver is his first solo.
Edgar Wright's 100%
just
solo.
him. Yeah, just him. Also, he did Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yes.
If you're not familiar with the Cornelius, what is it?
Cornetto.
Which
trilogy. Also, Cornetto is where to go. It's not just a pastry. A woodwind instrument of the 16th, 17th centuries, typically curved with finger holes, cup-shaped mouthpiece. That's the cornetto that I was trying to think of.
Like a doo thing.
I think that's a flute. That's more of a piccolo or a flute. Yeah.
My favorite Dragon Ball Z character right there.
Go on, dodge. Yeah. Where was I on that corn? Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, I guess we kind of know what a cornetto is now. Actually, no, that makes sense. 3 flavors cornetto pastry.
Is it 3 flavors?
Yeah, it's called the 3 flavors cornetto film trilogy.
But is cornetto 3 flavors?
It's a pastry, so it can have multiple flavors. A pastry.
Is it like Napoleon? What was Napoleon ice cream? Is it Napoleon? Man, I'm really killing it with my memory today. What is that called? With the strawberry, the vanilla, and the chocolate.
Napoleon.
Yeah.
They'll
call it the Napoleon. I don't know.
Anywho, we're talking about Baby Driver now.
Are we? I feel like we really haven't yet. I think we've talked about everything but.
Oh, man. Okay, so, I mean, yeah, there's really not much more, I mean, to talk about with Edgar Wright as well, so, because, I mean, the movie is just kind of like stands for itself in a big way.
Yeah, and it's just one of those, if you're a Wright fan, then you need to see this. Cause
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
His, thing.
So we're going to go into let's get into starring next. And just really quick, we do want to just throw a disclaimer out there. Well, Tommy, we watched this for the first time. We had no idea what it was, really.
Yeah, I knew
within
the
last 24 hours. The movie does star Kevin Spacey in it, and we're going to try his character is going to have to be talked about, but due to Kevin Spacey being a sexual pervert and all of the shit, we're not going to really like do like a movie list for him or anything. We just want to also like give a warning for people out there. If you don't want to watch this because he's in it, don't watch it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, totally.
You know? But yeah, we're also not even going to really do like give him like as much. We're going to try not to give us like any glorification or anything. So, but yeah, the movie does star Ansel Elgort, which this is the first movie I've ever seen him in. I've never seen a movie with him in it before. I didn't even know he was a person. Which, I mean, if you are familiar with him, he's one of the main characters. He's like the main. Is he the main guy in The Fault in Our Stars? I've never seen it. I know Shailene Woodley's in that.
The only thing I've seen is Carrie.
I haven't seen the remake of Carrie.
Yeah, and
he's in the Divergent series.
And he's gonna be in the upcoming West Side Story remake. I feel like West Side Story and Cinderella, they just like redo every like 5 years.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, because West Side Story is just the modern retelling of Romeo and Juliet. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, but Ansel Elgort, he's got a weird name. I mean, no shade or anything, but you
got a weird name, bro.
You got a weird name, bro. Unique though, I will say it. Like it's unique for Hollywood. Like I'm actually surprised some like producing or like some agent was like, we got to change his name, bro. This
make him
make him like Andrew or something.
Ask him to change it.
Yeah,
really make him. Next, I guess would be Lily James.
Yeah, I'd give Lily James like one of the next credits.
Mamma Mia 2, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, Wrath of Titans,
Cinderella.
Oh, weird. Weird.
One of my favorite things that I've seen her in is the movie Yesterday. Which this guy, he is like a songwriter, teacher or something, and he gets like struck by lightning while riding his bike, and he wakes up and nobody knows who the Beatles are. So he knows like every single Beatles song.
Yeah.
And it's a fun story. It's a fun movie, actually.
Does he capitalize on that?
Yes, because like he just starts playing, I think he starts playing Yesterday, and someone's like, that's the most beautiful song I've ever heard. And he's like, well, it's the Beatles, of course. They're like, the what? And he's like, the Beatles. I'm like, who are you talking about? And he's like, the Beatles. They're like John Lennon and Paul McCartney, like the biggest band of all time. They're like, no, Coldplay?
That'd be interesting.
And so like, yeah, he ends up like just releasing like, he becomes the biggest pop star in the world. Like
that's so weird to think about. Like if suddenly one day you woke up and like the Beatles were not around, how different would music be?
Well, that's the thing.
For these iconic, any of these like iconic that's, musicians.
It's interesting because like that's like a fun like pondering rewritten history thing I think about. Is like if this movie didn't exist, or if this famous artist never happened type thing or piece of art, where would we be in the world? But this is literally a world where everything is still the same. There's just no Beatles. Mm-hmm. So like Ed Sheeran is like in it, and he's like still popular. And he hears one of the songs, and Ed Sheeran's like, "You're really good," and it's like, "What is happening?" Well, yeah, that's Lily James.
Then I guess we should mention.
I'm going to John Hamm next.
Yeah, John Hamm.
And I feel like those are kind of like the three. They turned like the three main because like that's where the story ends is really with them.
Yeah,
in a big way.
Mad Men, Space Cowboys, 30 Rock, Parks and Rec.
Tag.
I
love that movie.
Trying to think. Oh, he's in my favorite episode of Black Mirror.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He did a really weird show with Daniel Radcliffe where there were doctors.
Huh.
And I feel like Daniel Radcliffe played like a younger him or something. I can't. I said it was a really cool show. I don't remember it actually.
Moving on to
let's do Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, I do love me Jamie Foxx.
And he was great in this. He was terrifying.
Did you know that Jamie Foxx was in Toys? It took some sleuthing, but I figured out he's.
What is he, just like a quick extra in it? How old is he?
He's a babe. I mean, he's not a child.
He's like 16, 17.
He's older than that. He's young. He's very young looking. And it's one of those. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh shit, yeah, it's totally him. He's like a surveillance guy for the evil uncle. And he's spying on him, and another guy are spying on Robin Williams.
Oh, so he's actually got like it's like a bit. It's not just a bit part. It's like a minor role.
No, and there's this little robot, and they're like watching them like get it on and like being like pervy and gross, and it was just so weird. I was like, who's he in Toys? Like, what the fuck? And it's his first. I think it's his first role. Like 93 or 92.
I think he got his start on it in Living Color. Didn't he?
Yeah. I don't actually, weirdly enough, for how famous it is, I don't really know a lot about Jamie Foxx.
That's fair.
I mean, I think my favorite Jamie Foxx movie would have to be Collateral, because he was awesome in that, and Tom Cruise was terrifying.
I can't really think of what my favorite one is. He's great in Ray.
I mean, Django. Django's up there.
Oh, Django Unchained.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to write ones down for him specific. Well, I only wrote down for a couple of people.
I don't know. He's pretty funny in Horrible Bosses. This motherfucker.
Oh, he does.
Motherfucker.
Right.
What's his name? Motherfucker Jones.
Yeah, Motherfucker Jones.
He was really funny in that.
Yeah, he plays Bats in this movie, and he's bat fucking crazy.
Yeah, he's bat crazy.
I think for the next we can just kind of like quickly list through some, because like this movie has like a decent amount of like stars in it, or like people that are known, but like they're just like their roles just so small. And it's like they're in for like a heist and then they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
So like, well, I mean, I guess
like John.
Let's do Isa Gonzalez, because like she's kind of more of a main character through it as well. She's the wife of John Hamm Buddy. Yeah,
she's was in Hobbs and Shaw, Bloodshot.
She's in Alita,
which I forgot they made a Bloodshot movie.
I didn't even look. I didn't know that was a thing. Is that like
with Vin Diesel?
Oh, that's right.
You remember Bloodshot, right?
Yeah,
that superhero. Which, well, maybe people don't know. That's an actual Bloodshot's a comic.
That's book. A Dark Horse.
Yeah, it's a comic book that I remember reading as a kid, and then they made a Vin Diesel. Well, I don't watch anything with Vin Diesel in it, except for the Fast. That doesn't get me. But anytime I'm gonna do it for my family, I'm like, yeah. Let's do it, Riddick. You know,
for family, man. But yeah, Isaac. I also like Godzilla versus Kong. She's in that. I don't fully remember her in that.
I don't really remember that movie.
Yeah,
to be totally honest.
All right, so and then John Bernthal is in this. You'd recognize him from Punisher, Walking Dead, and then Flea is one of the other like heist people in it.
So random. You want to hear the even more random about that? So Flea's in it, yeah, as like a heist guy for a second. I wrote down every single song that's in this movie. Mm-hmm. There's not one Red Hot Chili Pepper song. Or maybe I did. Maybe I completely.
I didn't hear one.
I didn't, but I think I caught all the songs. I thought that was so random. I'm like, you got Flea in here, but you're not gonna. There's like, for a heist movie, there's a couple Red Hot Chili Pepper songs that would fit in a heist movie.
I mean, yeah, but do they fit for Baby's character?
Yeah, maybe they're too basic.
Edgar Wright may have just had like a playlist already like in his mind
of like specifically what he wanted for each act.
Well, because when he was writing this script, like the inspiration of this movie came from him listening to Bell Bottoms and imagining there being a car like heist with that song specifically.
Oh, cool. Well, then you got his dream.
Yeah. And then I'll just throw out also Lani June. Wow, this is really only the big thing that he was in. Oh, that's why. Okay. But yeah, he plays another one of the like heist people, but that's shortly lived. Literally. Haha. So yeah. And then pretty much, yeah, and everyone else, like, that's pretty much like everyone.
That's, I mean, I think we kind of went a little overboard too, to be totally honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I think we put a lot
could have just ended it before Flea. And it had John Bernthal.
Yeah, we didn't.
Because, Flea and Laney June are literally in it for like maybe like 10 minutes, if that.
Yeah, like if that.
Yeah.
And they're wearing masks majority of the time anyway. So
oh my God, that Michael Myers thing was so funny. Oh my God.
Okay, let's keep it good. We got to get our pace going.
All right, you want to go into the reviews?
Brought it before. I always really say if you're very curious about a movie, go to Media Critic and then read the little blurbs, and then you can read more if you like what you hear, kind of thing. I do have to say that the way they break it up is positive, mixed, and negative. Mm-hmm. Out of 53 reviews, every single one of them is positive.
Wow.
The critics liked this. The first, I think 10 when I last looked, are all hundreds out of 100. So this movie was pretty, really, I don't want to say weirdly because it comes off like an insult, but I was very surprised. I was like, really? Like everyone really seemed to dig this movie.
Did we say what it was at IMDb rating?
7.6.
Yeah, I think we were trying to say that. Yeah, it's 7.6. Yeah, actually, I was kind of surprised with that.
So Britt Hayes from Screen Crush. Baby Driver, Wright's first ever solo screenplay, is a thrilling and original cinematic joyride that plays homage to heist masterpieces while creating a legacy of its own. Which is, I feel like what I said too. That's why I didn't keep going, because I'm like, I 100% agree. Genevieve Koski from Vox is a seemingly straightforward last job crime tale mashed up with a jukebox musical romance, part high-octane action flick and part music video, propelled by perfectly calibrated performances and a wicked sense of humor. And I guess that's... Oh, well, this one I wanted to bring up because we'll get to it later. Stephanie Zacharek from Time magazine, which I was like, Time did a review on this? Okay, cool. Right on. Wright has orchestrated every swerve and near smash-up and one glorious foot chase with precision, a rarity in action filming these days. With that, I need to just point out, Wright's eye for walking scenes
are awesome.
Is amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, the very intro to this, I was like, the dude does this really well. This very seamless one-shot following the main character thing. All of his movies have one of those, and they're always perfect. Like, I just blow. It's so weird how directors and like creators in general could just be like Tarantino in dialogue.
Yeah,
the dude's great at dialogue. Like he just you can say I'm not really a Tarantino fan, but you gotta give him credit. Like his dialogue is also really great. Wright can do, it's just like everyone has this really specific uber thing that they can do really well, and I just think it's really cool.
It's the thing that people that their attention to detail type thing.
Yeah, and it's like it's always fun to see someone have this little signature because it kind of gives you an insight on how their brain works. Mm-hmm. Kind of, sort of. You're like, okay, this is just what you gravitate to and what you can just naturally produce and create in the world. I just think it's really cool. Like that's a really weird uber skill, like uber specific skill to have.
All right, it's weird because I feel like my review is positive, but I have
question mark.
Well, I do have like I'll just read it and then we can talk about it because like I did really like this movie. Clearly this is a really good movie, but I had some thoughts. All right. Beginning with a fast-paced getaway car chase scene, Baby Driver thrusts you into the front seat for one hell of a ride. Starting with Baby, our unsuspecting hero, pressing play on his iPod to the song Bell Bottoms, he drives us through the getaway, establishing two things. The soundtrack of the movie is going to set the pace, and this movie is going to be told through Baby's perspective. By leaning into this quirk, the movie also establishes a very direct approach to its characters and character development. I enjoyed the direct approach, but after the movie found its footing, it seemed to forget its on-the-nose approach of dialogue. The movie switches tone and becomes about Baby trying to find a way out of the world of heists, wanting to run away with the beautiful waitress he just met. What the movie lacks in its generic story, it makes up for in its crazy action. The action becomes a character in and of itself, and really where the tension lies in the movie. The ending takes us into seeing Baby finding himself on the other side of the crazy world he fought so hard to race away from, leaving us with a happy ending, metaphorically driving off into the sunset with the pretty girl. I think my biggest thing is like the story. I feel like the story. I mean, the story is very formulaic, you know?
Yeah, and it's kind of like I found it like at 33 minutes in, I think is when I clocked it. I found myself going, where is this gonna go?
Yeah,
this movie's about 2 hours long,
mm-hmm.
So about like 33 minutes in, that's pretty early in the movie to be like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
So I felt like it kind of hit this lull, but then it got me interested
well,
again.
because like the heist scenes really like pull you in, and they're really exciting to watch. Mm-hmm. And there is, like you were saying, like with those like follow shots with Baby, the lead character, it's visually captivating. Mm-hmm. But like then you just really start to think about the story, and you're like, oh yeah, there's really not a lot really happening.
No, but I mean that's what's interesting about it too. It's like there's not a lot happening, but like you were saying with the shots and everything, that really ties you in, and then the tie-in with music,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
really
well, and like also
it's a little claws into you.
All of the music is directly from Baby as well. It's what he's constantly listening to.
It's weird. It was immersive. Mm-hmm. It like brought you into his world. Yes. It was very. That's why I think
that's like one of the best parts of the movie, or that's what makes it so good.
Yeah, and it's like cool because it has. Well, also it's a killer soundtrack.
Yeah,
but the whole natural, like I'm trying to since for people that haven't seen it, it's very much. He puts his headphones in. You're listening to what he listens to.
Yeah.
When he takes the headphones out, the music stops. So it's just you're really like you're with him. You're with him for the whole journey. You're with him when he's dancing. And
there's no, you don't cut to other scenes of other characters' dialogue or what they're doing. It's clearly all from his. It's
following him.
It's following him.
Yeah, it was very interesting for being just an action heist movie. It was cool. I guess, for lack of a better word, it was just like, oh, this is like a cool movie. Like, it's interesting.
I was like,
I forgot what the first iPod looked like.
Oh yeah, that thing.
When they showed it, I was like, holy shit, that thing was a brick. I forgot about that.
And then I kept just saying up beautiful waitress and whatnot because like Deborah, Lily James' character on this she's her only reason for existence in the movie is for some type of like reason for redemption for Baby. Like she's a manic pixie dream girl in a lot of ways. She's kind of quirky. She has like, there's like one moment of her being like, oh yeah, I lost my mom. Like, and I know how sad that is. But then there's like her entire like existence is dependent with Baby.
Yeah. It gets all.
It even turns like
Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah. No, they even like have a Bonnie and Clyde joke. Yeah.
Damn it. I had something that's just gonna ping pong off of that.
Pew! Gone.
I can't remember now. Listen to the music. Damn it! I almost had it and I lost it again. I just thought of this though. I'm totally gonna make a Baby Driver Spotify playlist. I'm sure it actually exists already.
Yeah, it probably does. Yeah, I mean just the soundtrack to it. Just like a Baby Driver and like. You might just get Simon and Garfunkel. Yeah, no, the soundtrack of this movie is great. But I think
it was unique too. It had a lot of like classics, like, and then it had a lot of like kind of more obscure.
I like to use the word unique because even like this movie itself, what Edgar Wright created this is a very unique movie. Mm-hmm. Like soundtrack, perspective for filming, car chase, the heist idea. Like, dude, some of those car stunts were fucking insanely impressive.
In my opinion, all the car stunts were lit as fuck.
Yeah,
that movie was so cool. Even if you're like, you ignore the plot. Who cares? Who cares about the plot? Just watch it for the shit that you're doing. I'm like, maybe I can get into Fast and the Furious so they do shit like this. Like, this is pretty dope.
Well, what's interesting though is like I feel like with Fast and the Furious, it takes itself too seriously.
What's that guy's name that we follow?
I don't know.
The Mad Lib guy.
Oh, I can't remember his name.
Evan Williams. Check out Evan Williams. He does a Fast and the Furious Mad Lib.
Is that really his name?
I think so. Evan Williams.
Like the whiskey?
I think that's his name. But he's a guy on Instagram, and he does like these little, all right, I'm going to make a new Fast 5 movie. What's the plot? And he just does a Mad Lib. It's like, what are we going to turn into a car? A cat.
He pretends like he does like a line of coke.
Yeah. Like he's in a producer, and he just fills in this.
And it's fucking, they're really
cat
funny.
plane. Like, they're pretty funny.
But like this movie, it starts, and like what I talk about in my, what I mean with my review, where it kind of like switches from this like on the nose dialogue, is that like through like the first like 30 to 40 minutes of it, all of the dialogue seems to be kind of like making a commentary. It's like a deconstruction of like a heist movie. So like Kevin Spacey's character Doc, when he's like Jamie Foxx is like, or Bats, he's like, who the fuck is this kid and whatnot, and Doc is just sitting there like drawing on the chalkboard and explaining like how good of a driver Baby is, and like, remember this, the kid that blah blah blah, and like
that scene was pretty funny.
And then all of a sudden, like, he's like, hey, and look, the entire time I was telling that story, I wrote an entire fucking map. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Or, isn't that fucking cool or something?
He goes, the entire time that we've been squabbing, I drew this entire map in chalk. That's pretty fucking impressive, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
It was pretty hard.
No, and it's like,
he basically is telling Bats to shut the fuck, like,
yeah,
and a lot of words, shut up. Like,
yeah,
it was funny.
And like, it's just like, it was just like, oh man, this is really clearly like, it's leaning into like how ridiculous like this shit is. Like, if you were watching like a regular heist movie and like they're drawing that, it's like, and then here's the plan and whatnot, taking itself seriously. But this movie, it's like, it's very much aware of what kind of movie it is. And then it switches weird tone when the final when Baby is supposed to be freed.
She gets intense real quick,
dude. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and like the whole like you're saying, the Mike Myers masks and the what you never see in a serious heist movie, I feel like, is the bickering amongst the thieves.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it, like
well, sometimes, yeah.
But more often than not, it's like it's cold, calculated. They go in and everything's perfect, or everything gets fucked up. This is kind of like a mixture of like. It feels more real, even though it's a deconstruction. It feels like, no, this is what they would be saying to each other.
Yeah.
These bunch of blood.
It's like, what the fuck is
cold-blooded killers? Like
Austin Powers. It's supposed to be Michael Myers' mask.
You know the guy from Halloween? Oh, Jason.
It is Michael Myers. It's Austin Powers. It's like, no, from Halloween. Oh, Jason. What the? It is a Halloween mask.
Yeah, the Halloween mask.
This is a Halloween mask.
I was reading that apparently it was a rights issue.
It was, yeah.
So they had, but he reached out to Mike Myers and
because they wanted to use the actual like Mike Myers Halloween mask.
Yeah.
And then they couldn't get it, which is funny because if you know the history of the actual like Michael Myers. Michael Myers Halloween mask. They wanted to use a William Shatner mask, and they couldn't get the rights for his likeness.
So they took the mask and just painted it white, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which is that's terrifying.
Well, I always think that's so funny too, because it's like the intent of that mask being made was not to be scary, but it's terrifying. I'm like, poor William Shatner. Like they just couldn't get his like. Like, you're scary. It's like a terrifying mask. I mean, it doesn't help. It's also on a monster 6'8" giant with a machete. Oh no, that's Jason with a kitchen knife. That doesn't help. In
a mental ward jumpsuit. Oh no, he's wearing a
janitor
jumpsuit.
Just a jumpsuit, I guess.
Wearing a jumpsuit.
God, I can't wait for the new one.
I know.
Where are we at?
I don't know. We're in the middle of the movie, I guess.
Oh, yeah, something that is, I guess, important to understand, too, that we kind of, I'm going to backtrack just for a second, is that Baby has tinnitus. So the whole idea is that to drown out the tinnitus, he's constantly listening to music, which is also interesting, too, because when he's not listening to music and doesn't have headphones in, you hear the ringing that he's hearing. Yep. Again, another immersive experience. So that's the significance of the music.
Well, I guess we should kind of go down to like what this movie is, why it is, why Baby Driver is Baby Driver, and you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Like, so I mean, like the movie, like I said in my review, the movie it starts off with a heist, pretty much. Like the car pulls up, Bell Bottoms plays, and then you get introduced to John Berthenol's character, who's Griff. and then John Hamm, Buddy, and Isaac Gonzalez, Darling.
Yeah, Darling.
And they run in to do the heist, but Baby just stays out in the car. And it really, literally, watching the way that he interacts with music very much makes it's like, oh, I kind of like that's how I interact with music as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like some people just like listen to music and just like, you know, just listening to it. I like interact with the world around me when I'm listening to music. I try to like hold it back a lot because if I was just walking down the street dancing, people would be looking at me like a fucking maniac. But literally when I'm walking down
not in this neighborhood, they wouldn't.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, kinda.
I like to watch myself in the mirror and pretend I'm in a music video.
I mean, yeah, I think that, but that's like your private time when nobody's watching. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's dance like no. I just rediscovered the wombats and had a little
nice
a little party before work the other day.
But like even
let's dance to Dutch Vision. I was rocking out. My dog was staring at me like, what the
but yeah, so like, and then it goes through the entire like the getaway, and it establishes also, I guess I forgot to put that, and there's like Baby is an insanely good driver. Like
he is the getaway guy.
He is the getaway guy, and apparently, as you find out later on, has been like the getaway guy for Doc for years, like since he was like 14. It sounds like, you know. And then you also like why is Baby in this world? Well, because he stole a car. He stole
from the wrong fucking dude.
He stole it from Doc, and Doc found him and is like, well, that was some really important shit in my car, so now you're going to do this until my debt is paid.
Yeah, it's like an the mob boss situation. Which and I guess that goes into your whole predictability thing. You know, you find how 30 minutes in he finishes the second job, which is alluded to the fact it's gonna be his last one. Yep. And
he's getting money. His money saved up, and he's already met Deborah, who's like, strangely, I'm gonna go Freudian here. I didn't really want to go too far deep into my review, but
looks like his mom.
Not only does it's like looks like his mom, she's working at the same diner his mom worked at. She sings. Like
that was all very on purpose. I don't know that, but I'm like, that's too coincidental. All of that.
Baby wants his mommy.
Sorry. His mom died. Like, ooh, no. Took a second. We were just watching Friends was on the other day, and it was that whole Monica. Are they firm? Like
it's cutting the tomatoes.
Yeah. Are they really, really bad? It's a funny scene.
No, they seem pretty firm to me.
But then like I guess it becomes like super formulaic in the sense of, all right, you're out, kid, you're done.
And then he's like, I'm out, and he's happy, la da da. And then he's taking Deborah out on a really nice date, this really sweet restaurant. Also, he's a very suave talker for never talking to anybody. You know what I mean? Like, he was really cool.
Their flirting was so cringe, and I hated it for majority of the movie until I realized, oh no, this is what it is to be young.
Yeah, and it's also leaning into like...
Yeah, once I realized it was very like on purpose, I got over it. But at first I was like, this is so horribly cringe. I can't watch this. But I got over it.
But this is like when like this is when the tone of the movie shifts. And this is really when Baby, like, he starts really trying to, it's like his character's morality really starts to come into question. No, it's not that his morality comes into question, is that he starts questioning morality and like what it means to be doing all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because he his hand was forced into this for so long by Doc that it's like, he's not a bank heist guy.
No,
he's not a bad guy. He's just a driver. And also, he's forced into this thing that he would never really be doing because he actually is he is good at heart.
Well, and it's like it's very much made clear that he is just the driver. Mm-hmm. He doesn't go in there and get his hands dirty. So the first heist, it goes fine, dandy, whatever. Second heist, someone gets hurt. One of the guards is on the ground with his bleeding out of his skull.
All because of bats are going bat.
And
batty.
It starts kind of leaning into like he was kind of more okay with it as long as no one actually got hurt.
Yeah.
But
also he may not have known people were getting hurt as well.
Well, no, because I think that he did, because it made a very clear shot of him watching the first heist and watching
Griff.
No.
Or Buddy.
Yeah, Buddy. Tell a woman, like, get the fuck down. And he was watching her to see if he was going to shoot her, and he didn't. So then he
shot up in the air a couple of times.
Yeah, instead of like, so then he looked away and he's like, okay, cool.
But also, I don't think he would have driven away if he would have seen that. I think it's like his morality, like his morals are being like introduced.
What I'm just saying, these were all just like, they made very clear stepping stones on him leading to, I don't want to be in this world.
There's a lot of subtle things like that through this entire movie.
It was cool. There's a lot of like things that if you blinked at the wrong moment, you would have missed it.
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
There's we'll get to this, but it's way later on. But when they're at the diner at the very end, and Deborah sees Baby walking up, you see her eye like shift over to the person sitting.
Oh, they're going to talk about the gas station.
No, what the gas station? Mm-hmm. Which one? For which part?
When a bat steals the gum.
We'll talk about that later. But yeah, no, it's just like, it's literally like it's like you can see through Deborah's like demeanor and her quick look. Like if you're not paying attention, you're just think she like maybe she's upset that Baby's showing up so late, but no, she's scared. Mm-hmm. But yeah, little things like that. So yeah, heist 1, and then we haven't talked about Joseph.
These are hurting my ears today. Who?
The old man that
his foster dad?
Foster dad, yeah. He was a deaf guy in a wheelchair. He was aware of Baby's situation.
He knows Baby's doing something he shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
I don't think Baby outright ever told him that he's robbing banks. I mean, how do you tell your dad that?
Yeah. Do they ever actually explain why or how Baby became such a good driver?
No, not really.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I think it's just
like he was boosting car. Like Doc says, like he's been boosting cars since he was a kid, and he boosted the wrong car on me. La da da da. And the kid was
just his carrot.
Fair, yeah.
It's his carrot. Like you just go cool.
Yeah.
Do you understand my reference from Shoot 'Em Up?
No, because I don't remember that movie at all. Yes. God,
I don't know. Just making sure. I just like that. I like that. We should use that. Like that's the thing they give you, and that you just take it. That's the carrot, and you take the carrot.
There's an actual term for that. I can't remember.
No,
choking on your spit or swallowing your spit. What was that? What were you saying last week?
Really choking on your spit there, but
anywho, so yeah. Okay, yeah, that's right. While Baby and Deborah are at the restaurant, then all of a sudden, what is it? Was the meal was paid for? Everything was paid for, or just some drinks that they didn't order? I can't remember that specific detail.
When they get the Cokes. What are you talking about?
When they're at the fancy restaurant and Doc is there.
Oh, yeah. Their whole meal was paid for.
Yeah. Basically. And then pretty much Baby looks over and there's Doc, like, cheers, like, come talk outside type thing. And Baby's like, I thought I was done. And Doc's like, this is kind of terrifying a little bit. He's like, just because your debt was paid doesn't mean we're done.
Or and he says,
you thought you were finished? No.
He's like... Don't answer my question with another question. It's a simple yes or no. And then he says no. And then Doc says, I could go ahead and tell you that I'll break both your kneecaps or I'll kill your entire family. But I don't need to do that, do I? I was just like, this guy's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a very evil villain in this. And
he has a weird flip at one point. I didn't like that.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. But yeah, so it's it's the classic one last job. So they decide to rob a post office for money order forms, which I was like, that's a great idea. If you have a way to print on those, I was like, yeah, right. That's a really good idea.
Well, I guess what we really got to do is we also need to talk about Bats a little bit more because from that second heist, because he's on the third heist and it's really Bats that's pushing Baby.
Bats is a very unhinged sociopath.
Bats is played by Jamie Foxx.
and he is a very unhinged sociopath.
Yeah.
That would kill you rather than look at you.
Mm-hmm.
Like excuse me, that's the example too. They go to the gas station, says, pull over and you take a leak.
Mm-hmm. Anybody want anything?
He gets John Hamm buddy's like, yeah, I'll get gum, and you see Foxx go in, and then the cashier like look up, and then they're having a whole dialogue, whatever. It's not really that important. But actually,
no, that is important.
Actually, dialogue. No, the dialogue is important too, because this is my whole point, is that like I feel like that it made it very clear that he's losing the romanticism.
Yeah.
Of the heist world, because Buddy and Darling.
Well, because now he's actually like a part of the crew. He's not just the driver, the guy that's going to go get coffee while they talk about the.
Yeah, he's like but like they're talking in the back seat, and they start talking about murdering Bats, and just really nonchalantly, and then Bats comes back and has like
all the gum.
He took like an entire like case of gum and throws it at them, and is like, "Oh, you said you wanted gum.
Think I was gonna pay for it?"
Yeah, it's like, "Did you steal this shit?" He's like, "I ain't paying for that." And then Baby looks up, and the cashier's gone.
Yeah,
implying that.
Oh, I see what you. Yeah, like maybe he's dead or.
Yeah, like he's dead or hurt or something like that. Yeah. And so Baby's just seeing like who these people actually are.
Yeah,
and what they are, and fucking. Go John Hamm, dude.
Dude, he was so good.
Dude, he is...
Because he was so likable to, like...
That's the thing!
He was so likable to terrifying.
But he's always like that.
Yeah.
He can be your best friend, neighbor, buddy guy. Like,
hi, I'm John Hamm. I'm gonna fucking kill you!
Yeah, it's crazy to watch. It's like, you need... While he is in his prime, you need to make a serial killer movie with him.
You'd be a great Two-Face.
I was thinking Thomas Wayne for Flashpoint.
Yeah,
Batman.
Well, I mean, they already have. We've already seen.
Yeah, but we got Dean Morgan. I'm just saying about that.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Yeah,
but Two-Face is good.
Yeah, no, he'd be a fantastic Two-Face.
Oh my God, he would be a really good Two-Face.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. But yeah, it's just because he's so charming. And he's got a great smile, and he's really nice, and whatever. But then he just has this face that when he gets stern, it's like he's incredible. I cannot get over that.
Yeah, when he gets, because he can like look very like stern and posing, but like this movie is like it's like sinister.
Yeah,
it's like there's a demon inside of him.
Yeah, I mean, like
he turns like he looks like a sociopath.
Yeah, I mean, and him and Jamie Foxx's sociopaths, I think they both did a really good job.
Yeah,
it had a really fun kind of like
their weird stare down at the diner.
Yeah, like I had a Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because when you
Peacemaker
got two fucking alphas like sitting,
yeah. It was, yeah, they both did really. I thought that was really great, and it was really cool too because of the whole like Jamie Foxx is like the bad guy, and then it switches to no, John Hamm is the one. Like, John Hamm's the one you need to worry about now.
Yeah, we need to because oh man, because all right, so let's rewind back to the dinner and Doc being like, "Baby, you're doing this thing."
Yeah. So he gets forced into doing one last job.
Because also like Doc also explains to him like, "I've never hired the same crew twice. You've never seen the same people 2 times in a row." Mm-hmm. And that's been on purpose, and it's to protect you from this world.
Is that what he says?
So that's what I interpreted it as.
Oh, okay.
And now that, because like even like before they even go and like, he brings Baby to the post office and be like, "I want you to go in and case the joint."
That was cool.
And then his fucking 8-year-old nephew is with him.
That's what was cool about it.
Yeah, how the kid, the kid's just like. 10 cameras, 4 employees. This just like one armed security guard.
Well, yeah, and then he does chip off the old block.
Yeah, right.
It's like to take the nephew in there is less conspicuous. I'm like, that makes it more conspicuous. Just with the age gap, I'm like,
no, because then when the teller's like, "Oh, is that your son?" Sure, yeah.
Yeah, but that made it more conspicuous. If you just went in and was like, "Can I get some stamps?" and like, it would have been fine. It would have been whatever. So yeah, that's the grand old scheme. So then Doc brings back Bats, Buddy, and Darling,
who we've all been established as who the types of characters they are from the 2 previous heists. But Buddy and Darling, they seem like very actual nice people in love, kind of crazy. They're robbing banks. Bats, who's fucking batty.
Yeah,
he's just fucking out of his mind.
It's crazy.
And before every heist, he has like weird thing with like, that's our fucking shit in there.
Yeah,
they
like
took it from us.
psyching himself up thing. What is also kind of important to point out is that Buddy and Darling, more Buddy, but Darling too, have kind of a protective.
They have a very clear Bonnie and Clyde type thing.
Yeah, but they have like a protective, nurturing thing towards Baby. Like whenever they want.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying with that.
Whenever someone's picking on him or whatever, they stand up for him, and like he psychs him up with the music. You know, has like a dad moment. Like, you know, I had my like get turned up song. Like, what's yours, Queen? That's crazy. You know, like he was like they're sweet to him.
I see what you're saying. I was noticing that it's just like it was like a friendship blossoming type thing that Baby didn't want.
Yeah, basically. These psychos.
And like the entire time, like. Bats is not having Baby. Like he's just not into it.
I kept being like, why is everyone so mean to this guy? Like he's literally the reason you're getting away from everything.
Yeah. So when they finally all meet up at the warehouse to talk about it, it's such a big a score that Doc has like the plan for them. Like, okay, so you guys are gonna go and you're gonna go get some guns, pretty much. But they're calling it meat or whatever, right?
The butcher, yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna go visit the butcher, and then they're gonna come back to the warehouse. And since it's such a big score and it's so important and it's gonna be so early, they're all gonna stay at the warehouse and do it in the morning. Mm-hmm. And this entire time, Baby's trying to find a way to get to Deborah and run away with his manic pixie dream girl and live happily ever after.
And abandon his deaf, wheelchair-bound father.
Yeah, foster dad, yeah. It's like, dude, you keep forgetting about this dude.
I do, dude.
Like, that you love and care about.
I was like, are they just not going to touch on this?
Oh, God. And they end up going to the butcher, which is, they're
gunsmith.
Gun dealers, but Bats recognizes them as cops, so it turns into a huge fucking shootout,
which was so cool because those bullets are shot to the beat of the music.
Yeah,
like boom, boom.
What's that game on the Oculus?
Super Hot? No, Super Bass or
Super Hot sounds close. Anywho,
but yeah, that was really like that was really cool. I was like, all right.
And then which. As things go south, they like blow up the place and then they get back to the warehouse and Doc. Oh, this is also like in the midst of all this is with Bats being like, let's go to the gas station. I got to take a leak. And that's when like Baby kind of sees like, okay, they're a little bit more crazier than I thought.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, when you were talking about the romanticized idea of this is gone, even though he still doesn't want to be doing it, he's realizing really how horrible of a world he's getting into.
The veil is lifting.
Yeah. And then when they're coming back from the butcher, Bats is like, hey, let's go into this diner. And it happens to be the diner that Deborah works at. So Baby's like, I don't want to go in there. I heard it sucks. And then Bat's like, oh, really? Well, maybe off that recommendation, I want to fucking go now. Mm-hmm. And because like Bats, it's like, he's got to be, he is the one in control of the shit. Mm. Like, and if you don't want to fucking listen to him, he's going to fucking shoot you. He's going to kill you. And they get in there and Baby's like kind of ignoring Deborah. And this is when like the face off between Bats and Buddy happen.
Yeah, that Oscar line was apparently ad-libbed.
Which Oscar? Oh, yeah.
They're going on like, they're doing their little back and forth kind of pissing contest. And then Darling jumps in and is like, let me speak for both of us, and does this like long speech about how this is like the one guy you don't want to piss off. Once he sees red, all you'll see is black.
Yeah.
And then Bats just starts clapping.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, that was an Oscar performance right there. Apparently that was like just
ad-libbed.
Him. That was just him. But yeah, then it's clear, like, I don't know if it's clear. It kind of, to me, alluded that they were kind of suspicious of him not claiming that he didn't know who the waitress was.
Yeah.
Just from the way he was acting.
I mean, I don't think Buddy or Darling really cared.
It was Bats that...
And Bats was like...
Dude, he like straight up... Like, she puts the thing down and he just straight up pulls it. He's like gonna go shoot her.
Yeah. Because he's fucking crazy.
I was like, what the fuck?
He's a homicidal maniac.
Yeah. I was like... Chill. Like, you're a very off-putting person. She doesn't want to be around you.
That was also like a fucking power move by Baby, grabbing the gun and just staring him down like, fucking, I dare you.
It's
like,
cool.
who's gonna fucking, it's like literally, it's like who's gonna fucking drive tomorrow?
That was cool.
It's like they all kind of had like their weird own like power like shift moves in that, and it really showed that Baby really could like put his status down if he wanted to.
Yeah, and then we get back to the warehouse where
bananas.
Doc explains that anytime at the end of a deal the client calls and says bananas, and that means that
everything's good.
So these gunsmiths did not call him, and he was like, "What happened?" basically, and Bats is like, "Oh, they were cops," and then Doc's like, "I know, they were my cops." I was like,
"Yeah, God damn it, Bats,
you fucked up, bro."
Well, they shot first. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah, and they like, and that's what I'm saying. There's just a lot of these moments, and then just Baby's observing. It's like he lied,
and then he looks at Buddy,
and Buddy goes with the lie,
and then you see Baby like, "Whoa, what?" It's kind of like there's like you can see the internal conflict in Buddy, or in Baby.
It was interesting.
Baby essentially, we need to like, because this is when the movie really starts like get interesting.
Yeah,
the tension of this movie really starts to like go, because you get really into like, okay, what the fuck's gonna happen next? You don't know what's gonna happen next. You're like, and because like you keep seeing Baby, like he leaves a note to Deborah like, road trip 2 a.m. So like he's trying to fucking get the hell out of there, out of this situation, and so like. Pretty much, Doc's like, we're calling it off. We're going to call it off. And then, whoa, no, we don't have to call it off. All this shit. And then he puts it on Baby. He's like, well, Baby's got a voice in this as well. Only if he still wants to do it. And Baby, because Baby also knows if he says no, someone in his fucking room is going to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to say yes. He has to find a way to escape.
I don't think so.
Bats would have fucking killed him.
No, everyone, because... Yeah, so.
I mean, or Bats would have tried to kill him, or eventually would have killed him, hunted him down.
But that's what I thought was weird, because even Spacey... Well, because then it turns into... He tries to sneak out to go meet up with Deborah.
Yeah.
And then John Hamm, and then Buddy and... Bats, like, catch him. Mm-hmm. But in this whole process, too, like, he's been... Buddy keeps around. Baby keeps around a tape recorder and makes like little remixes from things that he hears in conversations.
Yeah, he actually makes a little bit of like just fun music.
Yeah. And they find the tape recorder and they discover that like he has like a bunch of conversations recorded. It's just stupid considering the line of work you're in.
It also like makes me like, how has nobody ever fucking
noticed?
Yeah,
because he has like a briefcase full of them.
Well, he doesn't carry them with him. Like, how's nobody noticed? Like he has a recorder?
I'm just saying he's done so many. Yeah. And he's been doing it for clearly a long time. But even then, Kevin Spacey at that point says, "You're out. I'll find another driver." I'm like, why didn't you just go, cool? Deuces. Why did he commit to still being the driver?
Wait, after they already like found everything?
After they found the tape recorders and stuff.
Oh, because he wants his shit back. Like he wants his shit back, and he's like, okay, like I'll do it. Like, he's pretty much like doing it to get his shit back, if I remember correctly. But also, that's a very like tense scene when like Buddy like stops Baby, and then Bats gets in the car, and you're like, oh fuck.
Worse to worser.
And
so then we get to the final heist, like at this point, because now it's kind of just cut dry. Get to the heist. They start it. Everyone gets in the car, and at this point, Baby just has had enough. I guess he just finally reached that point.
Like, they everybody's in their places and whatnot. They're like, they're doing the heist, and the teller that he talked to the other day at the post office keeps walking up, and she remembered him because they had like a pleasant conversation. So she's like waving to Baby, and Baby just like looks at her and just kind of like shakes his head no, and she looks at him weird, and he just shakes his head no again, which tips her off like, oh, something fucking weird is happening, and she goes and gets his security guard, which is where shit starts to really spiral, because then like Bats and everybody comes out. Bats shoots the driver. He gets into the car, and Baby just keeps looking at this like rebar coming off this truck in front of him.
Final destination, yeah.
And everyone's yelling at Baby to go, like fucking move, go, move, get the fuck out of here, And finally, Baby just snaps floors it, drives directly into the rebar, which stabs right through Bats and kills Bats immediately. And now the fucking runaway is on. It's like, what?
And then it's a very, very long on foot chase scene that was really cool.
Yeah.
With fucking a Hocus Pocus playing, which is like one of my favorite songs ever. I can't remember who did that. It's the yodeling one. That was awesome. It was like, I never thought Hocus Pocus is a good chase song. This is like,
dude, Edgar Wright's like choice for the because like it gave the movie like a very quirky feel to it.
Yeah, it was cool.
But like during this whole thing, so Darling and Buddy are like in a shootout with the cops and running from the cops as well. Darling ends up getting shot and killed, which sends Buddy into a spiral.
Sends him into a murderous rage.
And he's like, this is Baby's fault.
So then it becomes, that's what's weird. This is kind of one of those movies that there are a couple of moments it could have ended, but it just kept going.
But it kept going with purpose.
Yeah, totally. But it was like, there's a couple of moments where you're like, okay, that's going to be the end of the movie. But then now with this whole Buddy, Baby, God, I didn't realize how hard that was going to be. Baby fucking up this heist. You're like, well, they're going to get caught now. So how are we going to rectify? What's the end result rectification situation going to be? But then what it kind of turns into is just now a game of cat and mouse
between Baby and Buddy.
Ham is the big ass cat going after the little mouse. And yeah, like you said earlier, he was a great, like, you took something from me, I now take something from you kind of mentality. And he was really good. And
Baby this entire time is running around with the like half the money order or something in a bag.
Loot,
yeah. Eventually gets to a point where they're in the diner with Buddy, and
that was a great tense scene.
That was a really great tense scene. I love like the cops pull up and the cops rush in. We're like, I need the key to the bathroom. Baby ends up going back to the warehouse, and Doc is like, nope, it's off. I'm not fucking, like, I don't know you type thing. And somehow Baby woos Doc into like helping him out, like giving him back his like the one cassette he wants, which is the one of his mom's
tape, because his mom was a singer.
Yeah, and like lets him get, like gives him a getaway, like it, like just kind of helps to have him get away type thing, which was kind of, I feel like that was a really weird twist for Doc's character. It didn't make any sense.
Well, like the whole, it's like, I was once in love, like him seeing.
Oh, that's right, because when he saw Deborah, it's like
Baby
and his heart melts.
Yeah, him seeing Baby and Deborah together made him a nice guy. I don't know.
And it's like, I feel like it was just like Edgar Wright was like, I need to have some reason for this to happen. But like it's still to become, because like Buddy shows up there. Like after like the other, like the rest of the like cops that you like shit hits the fan at this point as well, as they're like getting out of the elevator.
Yeah, and then it kind of turns into like a like a bumper car chicken fight. Like the final fight scenes are like with cars.
Yeah, it's like
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was really well done. And even still, like Edgar Wright's really good at these like little swerves, like in the middle of them that like makes you like. It's not like a swerve where you're like, oh my god, can't this just fucking end? It's more of like a, oh my god, it's still happening.
Okay, we got 10 more minutes of whatever this is gonna be.
Eventually like Buddy, like he like takes away Baby's hearing.
Yeah, he shoots the gun on
either side of his ears because he's already got tinnitus, so like
that, like it's the nail in the coffin.
Yeah. And
then it's like, I'm going to kill your girlfriend because you got my girlfriend killed. She comes at him with a crowbar. Baby shoots him in the kneecap, and he falls to his fiery death.
Yep.
Spoiler alert.
Which, I mean, so in a morality sense, like, it's like Buddy wasn't attempting to murder, or Baby wasn't attempting to murder Buddy, but the events.
Sure as fuck was attempting to murder Bats.
That's fair.
But then I think we should wrap it up in here in a minute.
We got just like the last little bit of like
I was just gonna say
court scene and whatnot.
The ending I liked. I didn't like that there was some miracle get out of jail free card, or he had something to use as like leverage to not. It's like, no, he did like 5 years jail time.
Yeah, no, it was his character was put on trial more than anything. It's like, yeah, he was, part of a heist. What is it? Aiding and abetting in a crime or whatever.
Yeah. It was count like 1 of 19. We find she goes like,
yeah,
you broke a lot of laws in that last chase scene alone.
And it's like, it's like he's sentenced to 25 years, but every 5 years with a hearing for probation. So essentially it's like, and you see him like through like a montage, that he's just quiet, reserved to himself, just waiting for his time for his probation. Or I mean, people can get out of jail really quick like that. A lot of people that probably shouldn't have gotten out of jail really quick like that.
Well, I think that also like the crime and like are you a violent person and stuff like that.
And then like I said, it's like it ends with him. Well, it was a nice callback to a fantasy that he had earlier on in the movie of him walking out of, I think, the diner, or walking out of some place to Deborah with a nice car, and it's all in black and white, and it's them meeting together to kiss and drive away, and they're like just head west or whatever it was, on the road. And then he's walking out of the prison, and there she is in the car and whatnot, and he kisses her, and that's the metaphorical riding off in the sunset.
Yeah. So it's pretty balls to the walls crazy, but it's pretty fun.
I keep going back and forth on this movie on how I like it.
This might be one of my top contenders for the Mogwai Awards for my Gizmo.
Oh, man, I don't know that for me. Because I literally keep going back and forth between, like, if it's like... Because, like...
Are the Gizmos Awards next week?
Yeah.
Oh, we need to plug that in. I guess I kind of already did.
Yeah, like, because at one part, it's like, I think this movie is fantastic with its, like, with its stunt choreography and just like the action to it, because it's really well done. It's really, like the tension to it is really good. I love the whole perspective with Baby, but then like the story just kind of makes me go, like, and it makes me kind of go meh, because if it just leaned a little bit more into the cheekiness and like it's like deconstruction of like this of a dialogue and stuff like that, I don't know. It's a really hard line to cross. I mean, like walk, No,
totally. It's like with that whole deconstruction thing, though. It's like maybe maybe it wasn't the intent.
That's what it seemed like at first, though.
Yeah, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's just like it's how it was written, and maybe he wanted to keep it a very simple, like you need to have the plot there to keep people's interest, but what I want to be the focal point is the music and the stunts.
Yeah, which is like the uniqueness of this script and this, like the presentation of it.
Yeah, because it's like, I think part of me thinks that might be more the case too, because there aren't really any, like, I mean, I'm sure I might have missed one, but there aren't really any plot holes.
Other than Baby knowing how to just magically drive super well.
Yeah, for like his carrot, like sure, whatever. Like, and the only one that we can really think of is Doc's sudden change of heart, but that's explained. It's just kind of it's weird.
It's one dimensional.
Yeah, it's just kind of it's a weird choice to make. But other than that, it's like, and I think with a movie like this that is already very complicated, at least from a stunt choreographing way, keep the plot really easy and simple. Like, you don't need to fucking a bunch of bells and whistles on it.
As much as like Deborah's character really is just kind of like a manic pixie dream girl, just a device for just Baby's like morality and whatnot. Lily James is like, she is a good enough actress that you don't really notice that until you think about it.
Yeah, and I mean, but also when it comes to like Baby, he's also kind of like a manic pixie dream boy.
Yeah,
he's quiet. He listens to music.
He makes mixtapes.
He makes like actual mixtapes in 2017. It's like they're then and then there's a whole like Bonnie and Clyde thing with them. Their whole thing was like their whole thing was just a device to give him a reason to do something more with his life and blah blah blah, even though his father is sitting there being the driving force for that.
I just remember one of the funniest parts. He becomes a delivery driver.
Yeah.
For a pizza delivery driver.
Yeah. Oh, and just in case you're curious, when he goes on the lam and planning on running away, he puts his father in a home. He doesn't. Leave him.
And also, there is like the biggest moment for him when Lily or Deborah, they're driving down the road after Buddy's been killed, and there's the blockade.
Oh yeah,
and she's about to like
Bonnie and Clyde it,
and he just slams on the brake, takes the key, and he's like, "You don't belong in this world."
Yeah, and that's what I was going with. I like that.
Yeah,
I like the end with it. It's like, you're gonna go to jail for a minute.
Yeah, and that's kind of like that's when like the really Baby puts that definitive like full redemption arc in a way on him. You know?
Yeah, he washed it away.
Yeah. And even like throwing the keys into
he threw away that life and he went to prison. Now he's reborn and he can live the life he's meant to with his gal. You know?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would give this a gizmo.
I wouldn't give it a gizmo, but I'd give it like a really happy mogwai or a mogwai. I don't know.
I mean, I think I'm also all these will change. So real quick, if you join us next week, we're going to be doing our end of the year show episode. We're going to call the Mogwai Awards, which we've been kind of talking about here and there.
We kind of gave a little description last week, but we'll give a full on description of what all that means next week.
Yeah,
what that is, but it's going to be like our favorite movies and our least favorite.
So wait, what did you give it?
I like a mogwai.
Just a standard dry mogwai.
Just a dry mogwai.
Okay, yeah.
It just came out of Gizmo.
Yeah, okay. Just a nice old mogwai.
All right. I think it's time. Yeah, we should definitely be wrapping up.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Highly recommend you watch this. Thank you for listening.
Yep.
Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you later.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye. This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
Tommy and Jacob's
Mixtape.